Last night at about 11 o'clock, I finished Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Today, we are going to be treating a book hangover. I really only get intense book hangovers with like fantasy dystopian books. I woke up this morning and felt like I hadn't slept in about 6 days because all I could think about was Iron Flame and the story. And the ending, if you've read it, if you know, you know. Because most of my book hangovers come from fantasy, my palate cleanser book always has to be something that is so far removed from that genre. Between You and Me by Joanna Horton. Small book, really big print and page setting, won't take me too long to read. A book that I read on a fantasy hangover is one that I don't tend to remember much about. And all the romance books that I have on my TBR are ones that I think I'm going to actually really want to sit in and enjoy. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't order Nobu or a 5-course meal for a hangover in the morning, would you? And we are ready. I'll catch up with you later. Okay, y'all. I'm 3 chapters into this book. This potentially may have been a terrible book hangover book to choose because I can already tell this is going to be wild. We have Mari and Elizabeth. They're both like in their mid-20s. And the book opens up at Elizabeth's graduation. And while they're in the like reception hall after the graduation, they're talking about how it doesn't really mean anything now that she has her master's. They're both going to continue working in their deadbeat job. And a professor scoffs and laughs and he goes, "Sorry, I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but that was funny." And they get talking and he ends up being a professor of history. Anyway, the second chapter, Elizabeth's perspective, and she decides to go to this seminar from the history department at her uni, and she sees the professor there. His name's Jack, and they get talking, and eventually they actually go to a bar and get a drink together. But I really have a feeling that this book is going to be quite drama filled, which is, I guess, kind of good for a book hangover. It kind of takes, the pressure off reading a romance drama. But I'm definitely feeling a little more chill after Iron Flame, so I'll check in with you guys later to see how the process is going of reading this book. So I am a third of the way, even though technically it kind of looks like halfway through the book. I've finished part 1 and it's pretty good. I've been like annotating and tabbing. It's a good hangover book. So I'm interested to see, we've kind of hit a bit of a crossroads. So I'm interested to see where the story goes. But hangover cure is going well. It's 1 o'clock. I'm going to fill up my water. I'm going to get some food. I'm going to take a break. And then I'm going to come back to this. But yeah, I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised with this book. So yes, I will catch you later. It's future Emily here, editing the video. I just had to cut out about a 10-minute review of part 1 because I went into way too much detail. All you really need to know is that I thought that all the characters were terrible people, and they're terrible people making excuses and blaming others. So when I go into a little bit more detail later on in the video, when I review other parts in a little bit more detail, that's all you really need to know. Everyone is kind of crap. Okay, that's it. Bye. Enjoy the rest of the video. Okay. I'm gonna be so freaking for real right now. I have almost DNF'd this book like 4 times today. Look, I get it. Like, I get why people love this book. But like, for me, I'm a simple gal. I hate miscommunication. If I hear that there is a miscommunication trope in a book, I will not read it. And if I'm reading a book and there's a miscommunication trope in it that I didn't know about, I will strongly consider putting it down and never picking it up ever again. But I made myself a promise that I would finish this today as my hangover cure. It's curing the hangover because I'm so frustrated. I have never met a set of more unlikable main characters in my entire life. I could not be more frustrated with Mari and Elizabeth and Jack. I mean, Jack, we knew that Jack was public enemy number one, but these two girls, I don't know whether it's just I have really incredible female friendships, but I have never heard of a female friendship as tumultuous and ridiculous and hurtful as the one between Elizabeth and Mari. The beginning of part 2 literally opens up with Mari 2 months later after Elizabeth and Jack break up. Mari goes over to Jack's house to borrow a book and they end up sleeping together. I am just not, that's not a girl's move. I don't care how much you like this guy. You don't sleep with your friend's exes. I've never had that problem in my personal life. Trust me. That's just a known thing. That is girl code. You don't sleep with your friend's exes. Yeah, that's the first thing she does. 2 months later, she's like, I kind of miss him. Anyway, it's so annoying. And they sneak around together, but Jack is such an asshole. You slowly realize that his relationship with Mari is completely different to his with Elizabeth. Jack and Mari, they literally, ow, I just rubbed that in my eyeball. They literally sleep together and that's it. And then she knows it's her cue to leave when he gets in the shower. They enter into this terrible relationship where they're just casually seeing each other and Elizabeth doesn't know. And then Jack is fully none of this is my problem. Elizabeth and I had broken up and then you and I started sleeping together, but none of this is my problem. I have no connection to her anymore, so what I'm doing with you is absolutely not my fault. Excuse me? You are a 45-year-old man. You should know better. As I said before, it's one of those books where it's no one is blameless. As much as I can say that stuff about Jack, I can also say it about Mari and Elizabeth. I've also never read a book where genuine friends intend to hurt each other as much as Mari and Elizabeth do. Just the things they say to each other are so mean and so hurtful. Just they're so cruel to each other. Mira tells Elizabeth about her and Jack, and Elizabeth is so catty to her about it. Then Mira goes into this deep dark depression, and Elizabeth goes away with all of Mira's friends. And when she comes back, she runs into Jack and he's like, oh, Mira called it off with me, but I kind of miss you. Well, we can still be friends, right? I miss you. And then the next page over, she says F you to him. And I was like, yes. Anyway, she then goes over and finds Mira in this depression. She comes home and she's like, hey, I heard about you and Jack. And then they start making out, which I'm all for. It's not the fact that it's two girls. It's just what? You guys are working out your differences and as friends, and now you're literally about to have sex with each other. And then Mira is I can't do this, and sits up, and Elizabeth is why? No, really, I don't mind. I'm over it. Come on. And Mira's no, I can't because I'm pregnant, and it's Jack's. And Elizabeth is oh my god, it's okay, F him, we can book you in for an appointment at the clinic, he'll pay for it, we can sort it out, you don't have to have this kid. And Mira's no, don't do that, I kind of want to think about it, I kind of want to maybe have this kid. Fair enough, girls got to think about it, right? And Elizabeth gets upset at that, and she's what? You can't even keep your room clean? How are you going to raise a kid? And she was no, I just want to think about it. Don't rush me into this. I need to sit and consider it. And then Elizabeth is all no, I can't believe you. And she leaves and storms out. Ugh. Anyway, I'm basically, I'm about 100 pages from the end of this book. So we will see how it goes. But I don't have high hopes. How do you have 3 main characters and hate them all? I have to go to dinner with a friend that I actually really like, and that I would never ever do any of this stuff to, that I would always stand up for, that I would always want the best for, and then I would, yeah, anyway. Wow, what a palate cleanser, right? Anyway, I will see you all later. Oh my gosh. It is 11 p.m. But I thought I'd give you an update on this stupid book. Update. I've just read a couple chapters since I got home. Mari had Jack's baby. They called it Tessa, and he's being a bit of a dickhead about it. She said that she loves him, and he said, "Oh, I didn't know that. You're a very special person to me." Are you serious? Elizabeth moved into her parents' house, so she's away from everyone and isn't talking to Mari, but is like keeping up with her pregnancy through other people. She finds out Mari had the baby. She drives to the water, and then it goes, "I surfaced, swam back to shore and drove home. That evening I went online and bought a ticket to Mexico, one way." I have no idea what is happening. I'll keep this vlog going till I finish the book, but in terms of book hangover day, I've cured the hangover of Iron Flame. If you've finished Iron Flame, you know what I'm sitting with. You know the knowledge that I'm sitting with right now. Point of the video, Iron Flame, hangover, cured. If you want to hear more about this book, keep watching, but if not, catch you in the next one. Future me again. I decided to cut out all of me recapping the rest of the book, so what you just watched is the final clip of me fully recapping what I read, because I realized it was just pointless. Here's a 30-second roundup. Elizabeth comes back from South America, her and Mari get in touch, and her and Jack get back in touch. They end up all being kind of good friends. Elizabeth starts to help out with Tess while the other two work. Mari and Jack are in a weird de facto kind of situation where they live together with their baby. But then Jack and Elizabeth start sleeping together again. Eventually Mari finds out and it kind of blows up. And then Jack says, to fix it, let's move to Melbourne for my new job. You being Mari, me and the baby can all move together and it'll be fine, and we can leave Elizabeth behind and we can just start over. Mari talks to Elizabeth about it. Elizabeth says, I really think you should go. That's the only way we're all going to heal from this, and I don't think we're really actually friends anymore, so let's just forget about this. Mari goes home to Jack and says, stuff you, we're getting separated, you move to Melbourne. Implies that he should probably move with Elizabeth because they're going to end up together anyway, and I'm going to piss off on my own and do my own thing. But yeah, really the rest of the book is just the same, of just like these people, these complex, mean, like kind of not okay people doing the same thing as they have the entire time. So yeah, what you're about to watch is basically just like my final thoughts. Done. I did not like this book. I found all the characters really insufferable. They were all just as bad as each other. When you start, the only character I never felt sorry for was Jack. But it's like you feel sorry for Mari and then you're like, no, but you are a terrible person. And then you feel sorry for Elizabeth and you're like, no, you are a terrible person. I don't know, maybe I missed it. Like, this is a contemporary literary fiction book, so I probably missed something. I probably missed the point, but I don't care. Iron Flame hangover cured, but now I'm just exhausted from this book. Anyway, thank you for coming on the journey. I'm so tired. I'm gonna watch my Netflix show and I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you all next time. Okay, bye.